Yehoshua chapter 10. ويهي كشموع هذوني ثدق ملك Yerushalem. And it was, as the hearing of Adoni Tzedek, king of Yerushalem, Kila kad Yehoshua et ha'ai Harimah, that Yehoshua had taken the eye and had devoted it, Katra Asha lirecho ulamalakah, Kena Asha la'ai ulamalakah, like what he effectuated to Yerecho and to its king, thus he effectuated to the Ai and to its king. Wiki Hishalimu Yotave Gibeon et Yisrael, and that the dwellers of Gibeon had made peace with Yisrael. Wayehu Bikrabam, and they became in their midst. Wayerahu mod. Also they feared exceedingly. Ki ergadola Gibeon. Ka'at are hamamlaka. Because a great city was Gibeon, like one of the cities of the kingdom. Wikihi Gedola Minahai, and that it was great more than the eye. Ukol Hanashaha Gibborim, and all her men were mighty. Wayishlah Adoni Tzedek Melech Yerushalem Elohoham Melech Hebron Wele Piram Melech Yarmut Wele Yafi Melech Lachish Wele Devir Melech Elayon Lemor. And Adoni Tzedek, king of Yerushalem, sent to Hoham, king of Hebron, and to Pirham, king of Yarmut, and to Yafi, king of Lachish, and to Devir, king of Eglon, saying, Alu Elai Ve'ezaruni. Come ye up to me, and help ye me. Wanaka et Gibeon, and we will smite Gibeon. Ki hishalimu et Yehoshua et bnei Yisrael, because it hath made peace with Yehoshua and with the sons of Yisrael. Vayehasapu vaye'alu Chameshet Malakei HaMori, Melech Yerushalem, Melech Hebron, Melech Yarmut, Melech Lachish, Melech Eglon, him V'kol Mahanehem. And they were gathered, and they came up, the 5 kings of the Amori, the king of Yerushalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Yarmut, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon, they and all their camps. Vayahanu ala Gibeon, vayilahamu alaha, and they encamped against Gibeon, and they made war upon it. Vayishlehu hanashe Gibeon el Yehoshua el hamahana hagilgal halemor. And the men of Gibeon sent to Yehoshua to the camp to Gilgal, saying, Ala terpayadaka me'abadaka. Let not thy hands be weak from thy servants. Ale elenu mehera v'hoshi alanu v'ozerenu. Come thou up to us quickly, and save thou for us, and help thou us. Ki niqbethu helenu Kol Malake Hamori Yoth Behar, because all the kings of the Amori, the dwellers of the mountain or hill country, are gathered to us. Wa'ya'al Yehoshua min ha-Gilgal, and Yehoshua went up from the Gilgal. Hu wukol am hamil ha'ma'im, he and all the people of the war with him, wukol giborei ha'ayil, and all the mighty men of the efficiency. Vayomer Yahweh el Yehoshua, and Yahweh said to Yehoshua, Al tira mehem ki biyadaka natatim, thou shalt not fear from them, because into thy hand I have given them. Lo ya'amod ish mehem b'fanecha, a man shall not stand from them before thy faces. Vayavo alehem Yehoshua pithom, and Yehoshua came to them suddenly. Kol halayla ala min ha-Gilgal, all the night he went up from the Gilgal. Vayehumem Yahweh lifnei Yisrael, and Yahweh discomfited them before Yisrael. Vayakem makagadola beGivaon, and he struck them a great smiting in Gibeon. Vayerdefem derek ma'ale bet horon, and he pursued them the way of the ascent of Bet Horon. Vayakim ad Azekah wa ad Makkeda, and he smote them as far as Azekah and as far as Makkeda. Vayahibnu Sam mipnei Yisrael, and it was in their fleeing from before the faces of Yisrael. Hem b'morad bet Horon, v'Yahweh hishlich alehem havanim gololot min hashamayim ad Azekah, v'yamutu. They were in the descent of Bet Horon, and Yahweh threw upon them great stones from the skies unto Azekah, and they died. Rabbim atrametu b'havnei habarad, me'atar hargu b'nei Yisrael beharb. Abundant were the ones that died by means of the stones of the hail, more than the ones the sons of Yisrael slew by means of the sword. Az yedaber Yehoshua leYahweh, then Yehoshua worded to Yahweh, B'yom tet Yahweh et ha'amori lifnei b'nei Yisrael, in the day of Yahweh's giving the Amori before the sons of Yisrael. Vayomer le'enei Yisrael, and he spoke for the eyes of Yisrael. Shemesh beGivaon dom, v'yarech be'emek hayalon. Sun in Gibeon, be still, and moon in the valley of Ayalon. Vayidom hashemesh, and the sun was still. V'yarech amad, and the moon stood. Ad yekom goya hoya vayu, until a nation had avenged themselves of its enemies. Halohi ketuva al sefer hayathar, is this not written upon the record of the upright one? Vayamod hashemesh b'hati hashamayim v'lo hath lavo kayom tamim. And the sun stood in the half of the sky, and it pressed not to go down in about a whole day. V'lo haya kayom hahu. And there was not like that day, lefanau v'acharau, before it or after it, lishmo Yahweh b'qol for Yahweh to hear or regard the voice of a man. Ki Yahweh nilaham leYisrael, because Yahweh was warring for Yisrael. ויתוב יהושע וכל ישראל עמו אל המחנה הגלגל. And Yehoshua returned, and all Israel with him, to the camp to Gilgal. וינוסו חמשת המלאכים האלה, and the 5 kings fled. These 5 kings fled. ויהבהו במררה במקדה, and they hid themselves in the cave in Makkedah. ויוגד ליהושע לאמור, and it was told to Yehoshua, saying, נמצאו חמשת המלאכים. The 5 kings have been found. נחבאים במררה במקדה, hiding themselves in the cave in Makkedah. ויאמר יהושע, גולו אבנים גדולות אל פי המררה. And Yehoshua said, roll ye great stones to the mouth of the cave. והפקידו על האנשים לשומרם, and muster ye over it men to keep it, or to keep them. ואתם אל תעמודו, and ye stand ye not. רדפו אחרי אויביכם, pursue ye after your enemies. وزنبتم hotam, and cut them off at the tail. Ala titnum lavo el arehem, ye shall not give them to enter to their cities. Ki natanam Yahweh Elohim biyadichem, because Yahweh your God hath given them into your hand. ויהי ככלות יהושע ובני ישראל לחקותם מכה גדולה מאוד עד תומם. And it was as Yehoshua and the sons of Yisrael's finishing to smite them, a very great smiting until their finishing. והשרידים שרדו מהם ויבואו אל ערי המבצר. And their survivors, they remained from them, and they came to the cities fortified. ויתובו כל העם אל המחנה אל יהושע מקדה בשלום. And all the people returned to the camp to Yehoshua, to Makkedah, in peace. Lo harath livnei Yisrael leish et lashonah. Not one sharpened his tongue toward the sons of Yisrael, toward a man. ויאמר יהושע פתחו את פי המררה. And Yehoshua said, open ye the mouth of the cave. הושיעו אלי את חמשת המלכים האלה מן המררה, and bring ye out to me the 5 kings, these 5 kings from the cave. ויעשו כן, and they effectuated thus. ויושיעו אליו את חמשת המלכים האלה מן המררה, and they brought out to him the 5 kings, these 5 kings from the cave. את מלך ירושלם, את מלך חברון, את מלך ירמות, את מלך לאכיש, את מלך עגלון. The king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Yarmut, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon. ויהי כהושיעם את המלכים האלה אל יהושע. And it was as they're bringing them out, these kings, to Yehoshua. ויקרא יהושע אל כל איש Yisrael. Also Yehoshua called to every man of Yisrael. ויאמר אל קציני אנשי המלחמה ההלכו איתו. And he said to the rulers of the men of the battle, the ones coming with him, קרבו, draw ye near, שימו את רגליכם על צווארי המלכים האלה. Set ye your feet upon the necks of these kings. ויקרבו וישימו את רגליהם על צוואריהם. And they drew near, and they set their feet on their necks. ויאמר עליהם יהושע, and Yehoshua said to them, אל תיראו ואל תחתו. Ye shall not fear, and ye shall not be shattered. חזקו והימתו, כי ככה יעשה יהוה לכל אויביכם אשר אתם נלחמים אותם. Be ye strong and be ye courageous, because thus Yahweh shall effectuate to all your enemies which ye are battling them. ויקם יהושע אחריכם וימיתם, and Yehoshua smote them after this, and he killed them. ויתלם על 5 עשים, and he hung them upon 5 timbers. ויהיו תלויים על העשים עד הערב, and they were hung ones upon the timbers unto the evening. ויהי לעת בוא השמש צבא יהושע, ויורידום מעל העשים. And it was for the time of the coming down of the sun, Yehoshua commanded, and they brought them down from upon the timbers. וישליכום אל המררה אשר נחבאו them, and they threw them to the cave where they hid themselves there. וישימו אבנים גדולות על פי המררה עד עצם היום הזה, and they set great stones upon the mouth of the cave unto this very day. ותמקד הלכת יהושע ביום ההוא, ויקהל לפי חרב ותמלכה, החרים אותם, ואת כל הנפש אשר בה לא השאיר שריד. And so Yehoshua captured Makkah in that day, and he struck it to the mouth of the sword, and its king, and he devoted them, and every soul which was in it, a remnant he did not leave remaining, a survivor. ويعش لملك مقدا كاتر عاشا لملك يريخو, and he effectuated to the king of Makkeda like what he effectuated to the king of Yericho. ويعبر يهوشع وكل إسرائيل عمو من مقدا لبنى, and Yehoshua passed on, and all Israel with him, from Makkeda to Libnah. ويلاحم im Libnah, and he battled with Libnah. ويتن يهوه قموتاه بيد Yisrael, and Yahweh gave also it into the hand of Yisrael, with the Malakah and its king. ويكها لفي حرب ويتكلها النفش أطرباه, and he struck it to the mouth of the sword, and every soul which was in it. Lo hishir bah sharid, he left not remaining in it a survivor. Wayasha lemalakah katar asha lemelek yerecho, and he effectuated to its king as he had effectuated to the king of Yericho. ويعبر يهوشع وكل إسرائيل عمو من لبنى لاكيشا, and Yehoshua and all Israel with him passed on from Libnah to Lachish. ويحن عليها ويلاحم بها, and he encamped over it, and he battled against it. ويتن يهوه את לאכיש ביד ישראל, וילכדה ביום השני, ויקהה לפי חרב, ואת כל הנפש אשר בה ככל אשר עשה ללבנה. And Yahweh gave Lachish into the hand of Israel, and he captured it in the second day, and he smote it to the mouth of the sword, and every soul which was in it, like all which he effectuated to Libnah. Aza'ala Horam Melech Gezer La'azor et Lachish. Then Horam, king of Gezer, came up to help Lachish. Wayakehu Yehoshua with Ammo, and Yehoshua struck him and his people. Adability Hishir lo Sharid, until his not leaving for him a survivor. ويعبر يهوشع وكل إسرائيل عمو من لاكيش عجلونه, and Yehoshua passed on, and all Israel with him, from Lachish to Eglon. ويحنوا عليها ويلاحموا عليها, and they encamped over it, and they battled over it. ويلكدوها ביום ההוא ויקוها לפי חרב, ואת כל הנפש אשר בה ביום ההוא החרים. And they captured it in that day, and they struck it to the mouth of the sword, and every soul which was in it in that day they devoted. Kukul atra asha lelakish, like everything which they effectuated to Lachish. ويعلى يهوشع وكل إسرائيل عمو معلونه Hebronah. And Yehoshua went up, and all Israel with him, from Eglon to Hebron. وَيَلَّحْمُوا عَلَيْهَا, and they battled over it. وَيَلْكَدُوهَا وَيَكُوهَا لَفِي حَرْبٍ وَيَتَمَلَكَاهَا وَيَتَكُلْ عَرَهَا وَيَتَكُلْهَا النَّفْشَ أَثَرَبَاهَا لوه هشير شاريد ككل أطر عاشا لأغلون. And they captured it, and they struck it to the mouth of the sword, and its king, and all its cities, and every soul which was in it. They left not a remainer, a survivor. Kukul atara asha le'eglon, like all which he effectuated to Eglon. وَيَحْرِمْ هُوتَاهَ وَيَتَكُلْ هَنَّفِشْ أَطْرَبَاهَ, and they devoted it, and every soul which was in it. وَيَاثَبْ Yehoshua, and Yehoshua returned, وَكُلْ Yisrael immo Debir, and all Yisrael with him to Debir. وَيَلَّحِمْ عَلَيْهَا, and they battled over it. وَيَلْكَدَاهَ وَيَتَمَلَكَاهَ وَيَتَكُلْ عَرَهَا وَيَقُومْ لَفِي حَرْبٍ وَيَحْرِمُ أَتَكُلْ نَفْشَ أَطْرَبَاهَ لوه هشير شاريد, and he captured it, and its king, and all its cities, and they struck them to the mouth of the sword, and they devoted every soul which was in it. They left not a survivor. كاتر عاشا لحبرون كان عاشا لدبيرا ولملكاه. As how they effectuated to Hebron, thus they effectuated to Debir and to its king. وَكَاتَرَ عَاشَا لِلِبْنَا وَلَمَلَكَا, and like as they effectuated to Libnah and to its king. وَيَكَّ يَهُوشُوَ إِتْكُلْ هَارِشْ هَهَرْ وَهَنِّقْبْ وَهَشْفِلَا وَهَشِدُوت وَإِتْكُلْ مَلَكِهِمْ لوه هشير شاريد. And Yehoshua struck all the land, the hill country and the south and the lowland and the slopes, and all their kings. He left not a survivor. وَإِتْكُلْ هَنَّشَامَا هِحْرِيم كَاتَرَ ثِوَّايَ وَهِلُوهِ يِشْرَائِيل. And every breath of life he devoted, like what Yahweh God of Yisrael commanded. وَيَكِّمْ يَهُوشُوَ مِقَادِشْ بَرْنِيعَ وَعَدَ غَزَّا, and Yehoshua struck them from Kadesh Barnea and unto Gaza, وَإِتْ كُلْ هِرْشَ Goshen وَعَدَ Gibeon, and all the land of Goshen, and as far as Gibeon. وَإِتْ كُلْ هَمَّلَاكِيم هَاهِلَّ وَإِتْ هَرَشَّام لَاكَدْ Yehoshua Pa'am Ehad, and all these kings and their land Yehoshua captured at one time. Ki Yahweh Elohei Yisrael nilham liYisrael, because Yahweh God of Yisrael was battling for Yisrael. وَيَاثَبْ يَهُوشُوَ وَكُلْ يِسْرَائِيل إِمُّ إِلْهَمْ هَجْلَغَالَ, and Yehoshua returned, and all Yisrael with him, to the camp to Gilgal.